Looks a little stormy to the north. I don't know if it's storming or not.
Not yet. Let's pray for it.
We need it.
Good to go.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, Monday, May 18th. And welcome everyone that's in the audience tonight. As we get our meeting started, I'd like to open with an invocation. Mike, would you lead us in open prayer, please? And then we'll say the pledge to the flag.
Lord, thank you so much for this day that you've given us. And Lord, we thank you so much for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon the county and its citizens and all those who live here. Lord, we just ask that you continue to bless us and be with us. And more importantly, Lord, we ask that you be with those that are struggling right now. You know their needs, and we just ask that they look to you for guidance and wisdom, and above all, that you give them comfort in whatever that their circumstances may be. And Lord, we know with Election Day being on us tomorrow, we just ask that whatever happens, is just that your will be done in all of those circumstances. Lord, we just ask that you be with us through all of this meeting tonight. Help us to get all our business done for the county, and whatever decisions we make will be pleasing and acceptable in your sight. So we pray for our country, and that as things are getting heated and there's unrest in the world, Lord, we just pray for the safety of our soldiers, and our troops, and our veterans, and the overall benefit of our country. Lord, we just ask that all those people that are making the decisions, Lord, to be with them, guide and direct them. Lord, be with us tonight, and give us safe passage home. And Lord, if you can see it, to give us some rain, we sure would appreciate it. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Please join me in the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Madam Clerk, if you would, call the roll, please.
Judge Stump.
Here.
Squire Pierce.
Here.
Squire Elder.
Here.
Judge Coates.
Here.
Squire Travis. Squire Cotton.
Here.
I'll make a motion to excuse Squire Travis.
Sorry. We have a motion by Zach and seconded by Will to excuse Squire Travis, Jim, who's absent tonight. Any discussion on this motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, next on the agenda is the minutes.
Here's just a couple things.
All right.
The first page of the minutes, under letter C, I don't care if you want to leave it or not. Esquire Stump wanted several deletions to be made. You could just start after that. So you can leave that in there. And then delete the rest of that paragraph all the way down to the word motion with the bullet point.
So after the first sentence, we'll leave everything.
Well, I'm making a new sentence by putting the period behind me. And then delete everything after that.
Down to the first motion.
And then I'm going to page 32. I'm trying to scroll. 32 in the top left.
That's 32 at the top.
Top left, that's correct. I think all that discussion at the bottom of the page isn't warranted to be deleted. Everything that's below the attachment and before item number 12. That's all I have. There was some discussion on page 36 and 37 that was related to the budget, so what the court said they wanted to.
All right.
Motion to approve the minutes, correct changes.
Second. All right, we have a motion by Will, seconded by Zach, to approve the minutes with the noted changes, deletions. Any discussion? I would like to say I thought the minutes was pretty good. Had a lot of attachments that's beneficial for the future. So, usually, these few deletions are still making good. All right, proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, we have, communications from citizens. Anyone in the audience, would like to address us, this is your time. And, Ms. Klotz, we got you on the agenda, so. Anyone in the audience, speak now or forever hold your peace today. All right, we'll move on from that. We have, in our books, we have a building safety proclamation, page 54. In our agenda. Building Safety Month, May 2026. Whereas our county is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role of homes, businesses, and infrastructure played both in everyday life and when disaster strikes, and whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of diligent guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. Whereas the guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, ICC, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes and standards include safeguards that protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by ICC to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our code officials who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Build to Last, the theme for Building Safety Month 2026 encourages us all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And whereas each year in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now therefore, I, Scott Travis, the County Judge Executive of Spencer County, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 Building Safety Month. Accordingly, I encourage our citizens to join us as we participate in Building Safety Month activities. I am glad they did not have any hard words. I hope you all were impressed with my ability to try to read fast. All right. Well, I don't want to diminish from that, but we will get that signed and get that proclamation done. All right. First on the agenda, we don't have any zoning things tonight. We'll take care of any of those at our next meeting. We have sanitation district minutes that are in your packets, page 58. All right, we do have an invoice from HMB, which is on page 58 actually, that we need to approve so we can cut a check. Now, we did cut a check last time or time before for HMB Engineering, and this is a invoice for additional engineering work. If you all remember at the Elk Creek, down behind Crickets along the creek, gets to the west where they purchased some land to build a pump station. This is for engineering work for that. So I would need to entertain a motion. Now, we do have these funds in our sanitation district account. That was in draw number 2 that is to be used for HMB professional engineers work. So I'll need a motion to approve this. Do I need to add anything to that, Corey, or covered?
Motion approved.
Second. I already have a motion by Mike, second by Zach, to approve the HMB professional engineering bill. It is a total of $45,900 to be taken from the sanitation district account that the county has and be paid to the sanitation. Well, actually, it'll be paid to HMB from a WRS account. All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, on page 59, we have, asked here, I was at a city meeting 3 months ago, and, there was an appointment to be made, and, it was actually an appointment that we were to make, and not necessarily them. And they wanted to appoint this individual, and, since it wasn't theirs to appoint, it was ours. I felt the nice thing to do was to do what the city wishes with their appointment. So, tonight I bring in front of you that, I would ask your approval on appointing Jeff Davis to be, confirmed as, he'd be an appointee to the Tourism Commission, to fill a seat that, Steve Conti had. It expired December 2026. And Mr. Davis was in the audience in a pretty pink tie.
Motion to
Morning,
approve.
yeah.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, second by Dan, to approve Jeff Davis to be an appointee from, the Judge Executive and Fiscal Court to the Tourism Commission, to a term expiring in December 2026. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Also, on page 59, there is a request from, Tourism would like to appoint additional commissioners. Ms. Scott, which is in our audience, and you are welcome to address us from there. She came in the office and we were, discussing this, and I'm not sure, I didn't have their bylaws of the Tourism Commission necessarily in front of me and wasn't for sure the process. I went on to think that if you all did make a change, the city would need to bless the change also. So I mean, I guess, do you have any response to that? Are we ready to do this tonight, or can we wait a bit?
We would appreciate doing it tonight. We're intending to vote on our bylaw update this Thursday and then present them as a formal change. In reading them, it seems that tourism has the ability to update bylaws, but that we do have to provide you with a copy of them also. So, if you would prefer to do it in the other order, that's fine. But I believe that we're operating in good faith here.
Well, yeah, I think we can operate in good faith, but I would want to do it this proper. And if you guys change your bylaws, then you should, in my opinion, come in before the city and us before we actually make appointments.
Okay.
Because I want to, since us and the city do this together, I want to make sure that us and the city are on the same page, and that it makes things a lot smoother.
Yes, just so that you know, these names have been presented to the city.
Okay. All right. So, well, did they take action on these names?
No, they just took note that we wanted these people.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll take note also. So we're in equal footing. And when you all get yours changed, your bylaws, then you can present the new bylaws, and then we can take action then.
Will do. Thank you.
That's it. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right, we're good on that. All right, next, we have on the agenda the administrative code changes. Corey, I guess I'll turn it over to you, and I know Sherry and I had a few discussions on a few things, and then, of course, we'll open it up for the court to chime in also.
Yeah, it's, as proposed, the language that was, included in last meeting's, agenda. I know that there was an email about personnel policy changes, and that's something that we can delve into, at a later date. And that can change at any time. This is just for the administrative code. There are any specifics on the administrative code language that was.
Those were,
These are all personnel policies.
they were on personnel policies, okay.
Yeah, I think there, some feedback, and obviously, if there's something that we need to address with personnel policy, that's something, definitely for a future meeting, and I think potentially may make sense to have a special meeting, that way we can kind of dive into that, probably similar to the way that we did for the various, planning zoning for wineries, breweries, kind of deep dive solely for that purpose, so, but this is largely the administrative code language, again, just being edited to more closely track with the language of the statutes for various sections, and then including that adhere to and apply to applicable ARS administrative regs and county ordinances for various departments in county government.
Yeah, our last meeting had all the changes marked up.
Yeah. So we are in order to approve this ordinance tonight, as a second reading.
Before you, if I read this right, you're not really changing anything other than you're just changing the verbiage to match up with KRS regulations. pretty much.
I mean, as far as substance goes, I mean,
That's what I mean.
I mean, it is changing some of, so like chapter 2, for instance, with 75, bottom of page 75 of the packet. It is changing kind of the language as to what fiscal court shall, but that language is just doing what's in the statute already.
That's what I mean, you're just lining it up with the statute, right?
So, as far as substantive changes, it's not anything, I'll just pull through, but generally it's just to track more closely with, statutory and, like on page 82 with vacancies, the timeline, I think, in the current iteration of the code is different than what's, it's different than what's in the statute, so that's just making that language track again, so.
So, Corey, I have a question. So, on animal control, it just says that we'll go by Kentucky revised statutes, but we passed an ordinance in 2023 making our own rules for animal control. We refer to that ordinance rather than
I talked to Victoria about that too. She said something fell through the old office. Didn't ever take place, not to you guys. But it's got brought up a couple times. At least been a little bit of time. You're doing all of it.
Yeah. Right.
I thought we voted on it.
We did.
We passed it.
Yeah, that, so on page 95, it's just, it added applicable KRS, Kentucky administrative regs and county ordinances. So if that was, those changes were by ordinance, that's specifically referenced here. Anything that applies. Now, as far as policies, I don't think that would be more towards the policy handbook rather than, the administrative code language. Administrative code is more general, whereas policy is more specific. And that's something that we'll go through when we go through the personnel policy. Yeah, we'll go through the personnel policy and we can add that in there, and take a closer look to make sure it tracks more closely.
All right, does anyone have any other comments on this? If you,
Make a motion to approve.
second reading?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, seconded by Dan, to approve the second reading for the administrative code changes. Is there any discussion on this? Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Squire Cotton,
Yes.
Squire Scott,
Yes.
Squire Harris,
Yes.
Squire Eldridge,
Yes.
Judge Travis,
Yes.
Squire Travis is up. I'm absent.
Yeah.
The seat is up.
Yeah. All right, well, so the motion passes 5-0. And on ordinances, just to remind everyone, y'all may remember, but I'll remind the audience, when you vote on ordinances, you have to have a majority of your total body. So it would take 4 to pass an ordinance, whereas resolution is just a simple majority. So, Sherry, the changes that we were discussing was in personnel policy.
Yeah, most everything that we've been focused on is personnel policy.
Okay. All right, and we're not doing those tonight.
That's
Down the road.
one of the other benefits too. I mean, we've already been 200 and some odd pages. Yeah, that would probably push us. Pushing 400 maybe. But just for, assurances of documenting costs and fees, it's an ordinance to amend this kind of fiscal court administrative code, with the changes outlined that were previously in the agenda for the previous meeting as well, and that were posted as well.
Can we get something like on a schedule, like to go over the personal policy stuff that I wanted to get like lost in shuffle?
Yeah, I think it's, just setting up a time, I would imagine probably in June, if that works for
Yeah.
else's schedule.
Well, just an example, the one department that we have had some concerns about the vacation, how it was added up, and the numbers didn't match, well, they were really worried about it. And so,
Well, that's why, I think it's beneficial to have a more comprehensive meeting just for that, but B, obviously, if there are those concerns, we can do the calculations and if we need to make sure it's in line with what's currently expected, that's, obviously something we can bring to the table, at the start of this meeting, so.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's anything that anyone brings up that is of concern, that's why we want to get feedback on that.
and, all right, well, I appreciate that discussion. We do only have 2 more meetings this year scheduled after tonight. Y'all believe that? June, the end of June will be the end of our fiscal year. And tonight, we can discuss our budget, but we will not be voting on second reading tonight. By all means, we'll discuss anything you guys want to discuss. But that'll be in the future. We have to have it passed. In fact, we don't have it back from DOT anyhow, as of today. But we have to have it passed before the last day of June. So we will try to have it ready to do on the first meeting in June, which I think is the first. And then if we don't succeed getting it ready then we can have a special call meeting at any time after that. So we can go ahead and get it taken care of. But, all right, Lynn, did you catch the Corey make that, a little better,
Yeah.
professional?
And I'll just send you one for the changes that's not the set the highlights with full on that, so.
How you want the motion to.
Okay.
It was kind of.
Yours was better than I just did the second reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed a little more gut to it than what I had.
Judge, under communications from other offices, can I just say a couple things?
Yes.
I would like to commend the road department who helped me today set up for election day tomorrow. They worked over the weekend, we all worked over the weekend. Set up and tearing down and returning the equipment to the secure election building. They were very professional, they were very thorough, they would not leave one location until it met my satisfaction. And I appreciated that because we had a few issues along the line. And I really am thankful for them. So if you all give them a pat on the back, I appreciate it.
All right.
They worked very, very hard. And the second thing I would like to say, tomorrow being election day, I know Squire Stump alluded to it being election day and asking for prayers. If anyone notices any election irregularities, the Kentucky Attorney General's office has an election fraud hotline. And if you all want to write this number down, I did put it on my Facebook page, and I will see if I can get it on my website by tomorrow. But the number is 1-800-328-VOTE. It's 1-800-328-VOTE. So whether you are voting in a location or you are seeing something after that does not feel right to you, please by all means run it by them. We will have an investigator from the Kentucky Attorney General's office will be by our office tomorrow. He will randomly visit some voting locations. Any irregularities get put into what's called a sheriff's report. That sheriff's report goes before the grand jury after the election. Now you can go along with it to answer any questions. So it will be noted. So if you see anything, say something.
All right, thank you, Lynn. I guess I should have got you a mic in case the public didn't hear what Lynn said. She was thanking the road department. And I will like to add that Todd communicated with me Saturday night, because y'all had to pick him up Saturday, and he said everything went well and so forth, and I thanked him for taking care of business, and so that's good. And also, Lynn mentioned that if you see anything irregular for the public tomorrow on election day, you can call 1-800-328-VOTE for any type of election irregularities. So, all right, thank you. Appreciate that, Lynn. Let's see, Mr. Cole. All right, I have a couple other items I added under F. We've so busy in the office today, we didn't discuss it a whole lot. Sherry, you might help me, or we may, I put you on the spot, I'm sorry. We had someone to be the enforcement officer. I might let Karen and them usually watch it. I may let them advise me. Karen, Katie, y'all are watching and advising. Yeah, we can do this a little later, that they have an individual picked and they have passed all the hiring requirements, and we need to officially hire.
Is this for?
No, well, it's for the Ashley's position. You're close.
Okay,
The enforcement officer that'll help Stephanie and
Right.
help Ashley and Angie.
I do know that she's got the thing for that.
Yeah. The hiring requirements are all positive, are all good, so this person's ready to hire. So, and they're in need of an enforcement officer. But we didn't get it in the book in time, and then I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. And then I didn't get the information, so maybe they'll text me. I've got another thing here that we need to pass out.
Are you looking for her name?
I got her name.
Oh,
But I did remember, you all may remember we was trying to find it in the minutes where we hired for a enforcement person. I didn't remember the amount of money. I know we put an amount of money, they could take office immediately, but then they had to go through the interview process. Well, we've done that now. See,
I think there was the best that I remember about that we discussed hiring the enforcement officer.
that's what I
yeah,
thought.
that's exactly what they had listed here, it's $18 an hour.
Yes. Well, we have a person that I believe has accepted that job. So,
They're expecting a start date of,
I'm gonna pass these out to everybody. We need to vote to approve. This is a county road emergency aid request. And, I hope it should be enough for Lynn, you to get one. Basically these were FEMA projects from last year's storm. Yeah, man, get them put in minutes. We got approved for this, and of course we sent it in not knowing we would get approved. But on Dustin Creek, we're gonna do some work there, and we can do it ourselves. And then there's another place on Dustin Creek, and then there's a place on Delta Road. Like the last sheet is Delta Road, you can see the amounts. And of course, the way this works is they will send us a check for half of each of these. And then we'll start the work. When we get it done, we'll document it. And then they'll send us a check for the balance. So we kind of gave up on FEMA and went through the state, and we did get approved for this. So I would need a motion for us to proceed with this, because we'll be spending more than $3,000. So moved. All right, second? Second. All right, have a motion by Zach, second by Dan, to approve the 3 municipal county road aid emergency requests, and projects can be started. That's what you mentioned, Zach?
Right.
All right, any other discussion on this?
So they're gonna move that road?
Move it over in Mr. Armstrong's yard a little bit, and I talked to him.
6 to 8 feet, if I read it right.
We had it surveyed, and the county owns way over in his yard. And we had a conversation, and he agreed, this is what the county had, we have every how many foot through there. But, we're only gonna move over some, instead of trying to put blocks in the creek, we're just moving blacktop over. So, and then on Delta Road, it's right where you pull into Delta Road in that curve.
Off of Waterford Loop.
Yes, it's narrow there.
But we are, before you don't Western Street. We are gonna try to stabilize that creek plan, correct? Even though we all move the road.
If you don't,
Is this
Green
legal?
Bay's gonna move 6 feet back over into the road.
It says right here, he broke and stabilized.
That's what he says, it said there, I just wanted to make sure that's what the plan is for.
Well, we may, I don't know how much of it this will cover, but this will at least get us started. Because,
If you don't do it, we'll be doing it again.
right, I agree. And, any of you guys that are out going to Mount Washington, just turn right into Dustin Creek. Walk up, what you want to look over in the
I had
creek.
a pretty good look at it already, I haven't looked at it and seen it.
Yeah, you would wish you didn't step out there, because it looks like it's gonna fall. The dirt's only like this deep, it's got tree roots in it, you're like standing on cloud. Actually, I recommend you don't go do that, because you can fall and break your neck. But nonetheless, this will get us where we need to be. This is the same type deal we did on Mary Road a year ago. So, all right, we have this on the floor. Do y'all have any other discussion about this? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, under old business, under old business, the tax board appointee, I don't have one as of now. We will need to do that though pretty soon. On page 100 and 101, we have another invoice on the farmer's market. Yeah.
4,700.
Yeah, I jumped. I didn't jump, I guess. I got into Miss Potts and I thought I missed the variance. Yeah, it'll be 24,750. This should be draw 11, I think. And you can see it's some more of the erection and the superintendent, I guess, there at the top.
I would ask why the superintendent is 85% complete. And the thermal engineer, 85% complete.
Guess the good news is, when you get to 100, we won't over that line anymore. I don't know what else to say. I have had lengthy discussions with the guy that's out there, and I've had discussions with the elders, the older and younger, that we need more communication and we need to be, my office needs to be kept in the loop on where think their progress is, where they think their finish date is, and so forth, and they agreed that they would do that. I contacted them after I got this bill. You can see the date on this bill was the 14th, which was last Thursday or something. So, any other questions on this?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, second by Dan, to approve the invoice number 11 to Elder Construction for 24/7/50. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
Me, no.
Okay. 41. It passes by voice vote. Make that payment. Okay, now, Ms. Potts, you're up. And their info starts on page 103 in your books.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So my name is Cheryl Potts. You know, I've been here a couple times talking about Tanglewood Drive. And in my previous visits, I showed you some documents, and I know that some of those were online, and then also handed you a summary. And the documents in the summary showed that Tanglewood was a bonded road, and the county collected the bond. They showed that the county fully intended to adopt the entirety of Tanglewood Drive when the plat and bond were approved. And it shows that the county has taken responsibility for other roads prior to and as recent as 2019 that were in situations very similar to that of Tanglewood. I had asked you to adopt and improve Tanglewood in a way that the court feels is comparable, fair, and equitable as to the treatment of other roads in similar situations in the county. And as time goes by, of course, the road continues to deteriorate, and I'm concerned if we don't take action, it will just become more and more expensive to repair. So this evening, I'm asking the court a couple things. First of all, I'm asking if the court will accept another, my summary, and the previous documents to the minutes. I don't know that any of that ever went into the minutes. I know we had electronic copies of the documents, and we just had a paper copy of the summary. So I'm wondering if those can be officially entered into the minutes so that people who are looking for this information later can find it more easily.
Could I see that again?
This is the
I don't
summary.
know that I have, I don't know that I have an issue with.
So the last time that I was here, I gave everyone, I think, a paper copy of the summary. And of course, the documents, which all came from fiscal court and planning and zoning, there's online copies of that, because I know that I had given them to you and you shared them.
With everybody.
Right.
And I guess that document, does it reference all this as public information?
Right.
That's, can be viewed over in the clerk's office at,
Right.
by anyone
Some of
at
it-
any moment.
Right, some of it came from the clerk's office and those old books where you had to look at the index up front, and some of it came from planning and zoning.
Counselor, do you have any advisement?
Include it with the minutes for this G3 on the.
Yeah, so,
Does that go into the minutes, I mean, in the state news, providing this information?
I mean, I feel it should say.
This doesn't need to go in our fiscal court meetings like we presented this information, in my opinion. Because this is not I didn't do this research.
Right, so,
You did it, and I'm not saying it's wrong whatsoever.
well, the summary, then you would definitely want to say that the summary was
I don't know if
compiled
this should be in here as
by
fiscal court
Cheryl
minutes
Right.
in general myself, that's public information, you can find it. I'm fine if it's in there as long as it states that.
The documents largely speak for themselves from.
I didn't say it wrong, but
You just want to say that the summary was compiled by Mrs. Clark. And it wasn't art.
103 to 112.
Yes,
It's the same documents.
yeah, we could, I don't have a problem, and Corey, this is fine, if Lynn in the minutes, you may say that Ms. Cheryl Klotz came to the court meeting, and, in the book, of course, you can put all these copies that she gave us,
I don't believe all the other copy of
I
it.
do not, I was never given a copy.
well, it should be in that pile of papers in front of you. No, right there.
Oh, if it's in the agenda.
Yeah, it is, it is, in the 200 and some pages, it's in there.
What I had previously today, I do not have any.
Okay. And it, well, basically, it's page 103, like Corey said, up to 112. References that document. So we're okay with, we're okay with putting that in this class.
Right.
And I guess we just want to note that that's Mrs. Klotz's summary, not the fiscal court's summary.
Judge, I just want to clarify because I want the minutes to suit you. So page 103 to 112 can be put in the minutes and the summary with the notation that was
Presented it, yes. Yep, I think we're all good. Everybody good with that? General consent?
Cheryl,
All right.
do you have this without the highlights in there? I don't know how this will stand.
I can get it for you.
Okay. Well, why don't you get that to the judge so he can make sure it's okay before I give it.
Okay.
Yeah, so they will be in tonight's minutes
All right,
when we get
and I'll
recorded.
get you an email
Okay.
with that. So thank you for that. And then, the next things I want to know, first of all, if there's anything else that you all feel like you're missing, as far as due diligence, and I can help you find, let me know if there's any piece missing. And I was wondering if the court can give me an update or a timeline of what needs to be accomplished or where we are on the road. I know we were kind of waiting a little while, but I don't really want to put off forever, so I was wondering if there's a timeline for a vote or if there's something else we need to do.
Yeah, we have, I'll just say, we haven't addressed it like you would like us to address it yet.
Right. So, do we need to ask Corey, is he supposed to be looking for something or verifying something? Or?
Correct.
Yeah, so for all roads adopted into a county road system after July 13, 2004, they shall occupy a minimum right of way width of 30 feet, 15 feet in each direction as measured from the center line of the road, unless the fiscal court finds that a 30-foot minimum is not met due to the topography of the road or other extraordinary circumstances. So, I don't know, the road foreman has, or the engineer has looked at the condition of the road to see if it comports with 178.040. But that would be something that we're not equipped to make a determination as to the status of the road.
Yeah, and what you read was the KRS, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that would be every county in the Commonwealth, that date.
So read the first line again, please.
So it's section 2 in the statute, whereas all county roads and all public roads that are being adopted into a county road system after July 13, 2004 shall occupy a minimum right of way width of 30 feet, 15 feet in each direction.
All right, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So, where does that put Tanglewood? I'm not sure if it has that many feet or not. It might, because
it's got a 60-foot right of way.
It's got a right of way.
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing we need to figure out, and I'm not a lawyer, which is why we have a county attorney, but where the KRS states that by that date for us to take on a road, then the question lies, from your point of view, I'm sure, is that this is before that date.
Right.
And I know you're of the belief that it should have been taken in then.
Right.
And the fact is, it wasn't.
Right.
And here we still sit today with the same issue, and then we have to know how strong that is for our circumstance.
So he was talking about the right of ways.
That's probably not what's required of us.
But
What's
right.
required by the statute to say
Right.
road. There may be,
Well, I think our statute says that it's county roads back as well.
well, and, you know, while there may be arguably intent, I don't know of a vote that was adopted to actually take the road. It's, you know, it's maybe not analogous, but it's kind of like the resolution to split California in 2 states in 1859 that is being used recently. If there's not action taken, you know, there can be intent all day long, but unless there's an actual recorded vote adopting that into the road system, I don't know if that would necessarily meet the requirement of being before 2004.
Right. Well, so I guess that's a question, but we have seen recent roads that were not up to current standards, as I say, from what was it, 2019 up to 2019, that were taken over, even though they were not up to the current standards. They may have had the right of ways, but they.
And
Your date was 2004?
2004, but, you know, that would, maybe those roads aren't, of course, currently, the fiscal court may have found, and I don't know, was it here at the time, but unless the fiscal court finds that the 30-foot minimum cannot be met due to the topography of the road or other extraordinary circumstances. So if there are other extraordinary circumstances, that could be why. Again, I don't speak for the previous court.
Well, and as Mike said, we do have the right of way. So there is plenty of right of way there.
Again, what needs to.
Now, of course, we know that it's falling apart, as any 30-year-old road would. But that's where I'm going by the precedence of these other roads that have been more recently taken over after that date. That,
Well, this court's never took on a road that wasn't in the county roads, but we had bond fixed.
but, you know, this court has not. Of course, Squire Travis was in the court that did. So, it's really, it's, so it's up to you all to decide if you want to, make that precedent or not.
Matt, can I make a comment?
Yes.
I think that extraordinary circumstances is very ambiguous and broad, and I think that the court should be able to work within that parameter if they really want to take this road over. Right now, there's school buses going back there, there's apartments back there, there's a commercial business back there. There used to be a golf course that had never opened without that road getting fixed. So, when you have an ambiguous term like that, I think that you can work within those parameters if you want to.
You know, and then I know that, and I'm not picking on Mr. Bell from the city commission, but the city has that road so far, and then I think it's annexed in the city, and then we pick it up, or, you know, we could pick it up, you all road.
Did anybody ever make a determination on that?
On the annexation?
Whether the city has actually annexed that road? Because my understanding was that they annexed the property, but with the condition that they did not take over the road.
Yeah,
Has anybody researched that yet?
I can't speak for them on that, so I don't know. So, but,
If they did, it would be great.
yeah, we don't have an answer for you tonight, at all, so, but we do need to continue discussing to try to get some resolve, I understand. So that's best I can say for tonight.
Get to the property and
Advise us.
help advise us to where that road is. I think it may be considered a city street air system, but I'm not certain. So it should make.
That'll take a year to determine.
City
road.
Yeah, GIFTA's usually, the GIS people usually take responsibility.
But I tell you, KIPTA meets a week from this Thursday, and I will contact them in advance about it
All right,
and try to get some advice, and I will share this information
all right,
that you have to try to get some advice, because they have, you know, they have legal folks as well as
right.
expertise, and they have, you know, folks in the state that they can go to and get advice from,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll try to come to a resolution.
I do think it's an extraordinary circumstance because being one of the first roads that was ever bonded makes it a little bit extraordinary. So,
All right.
all right. So you're all going to check on
Yes.
what the city is responsible for.
I'll ask them.
and ask KIPTA about
Yes.
what the legalities is of this road.
Well, I mean, you all went to the city and checked the regulations.
I have not checked with the city. When they were talking about annexing that first bit of property, we were talking to some of the.
John, who owns that property, told me that they annexed his property because he wanted the sewers ran, but they said that they weren't going to take the road responsibility over. So that's what I heard from him. Now, as far as addressing it to the city, I haven't done that.
Then the question is, we haven't had an answer that being after,
They own the restaurant out front of it. Yeah. Well, the city does. The city has the restaurant annexed.
Right.
And I'm not too sure that the apartments are not if the apartments aren't annexed. I know the apartments are in the facility plan.
The apartments,
Cities,
no, the county. The apartments are county.
still in the county.
Yeah, that's all in the county.
Well, he's saying the facility plan.
Well, with the sanitation, yeah.
It's in their map.
And, and
I
I'm,
know those apartments, on their, I know they got their own back, right there, development, those apartments on their back.
they are.
Yeah,
Division of Water would like them to be at the city.
I would like them to be gone too.
Well, it's to be at the city,
Yeah,
to go with the city,
yeah.
so, not to pick on anybody that's here in the room, but there's a man over to your side there. It's all like the city commission. He's filling you in. Sorry about that. I can't even see you, Roy. You're sitting behind this clock. But nonetheless, I got it down. I'll get with Kipta and I'll talk with the mayor and,
Right.
and we can include the three of us to try to have a discussion.
All right,
Move forward.
all right.
All right, thank you. Me and old boy Roy, we like picking on each other. Makes the world a better day, doesn't it, Roy? And, all right, thank you all. Number 4, under old business, we have, something to clean up, from long ago. And, on page 113, Lynn, I don't know if you have anything to add into this.
It took me by surprise because obviously your office pays my bills.
Yes.
And Mr. Wilbur, whatever it is, supplied the fiscal minutes, he supplied the picture of the book. I talked to the vendor who remembers delivering the book during COVID. It was one single book. But I didn't think anything else about it because I assumed that his invoice would be paid.
Yeah. And the reason it's in our book is, to the best of my knowledge, we researched and couldn't find where this got paid, so we definitely have this book, correct? Is it one book or multiple books?
However you say, it, like you said, on the road, I guess they reached out with overdue invoices, that's what this is.
Apparently, yes.
Did you guys find this original invoice, or was it in the bills at that time?
Well, I know that everyone in my office was looking and we couldn't find where it had been paid. And I'm not going to put Sherry on the spot because she wasn't in all of this. Maybe none of the discussion.
No, nobody asked me.
That's an easy out, but I'll give her that, because that's accurate.
But I've never notified the invoices I paid, so I have no idea if it's paid or not.
Yeah, this goes back to, that.
So how do we need to pay it or not?
I think we definitely need to vote to pay it, if we owe it, and the,
I'd like to see the original invoice. This is something, this says, why does this new one say December 2022, and the original here said invoice from 2020? But the invoice is from 2022.
and do you know, Lynn, if this, when this was brought to our attention, I would say my attention, in the last 30 days, I guess, did it come to you or come to our office?
Came to me, I believe.
Okay,
I think I forwarded the email to you.
to us, okay. And then, of course, on page 117, these are minutes from long ago. And then a motion was made on page 118, Squire Brewer, seconded by Squire Moody, Tim Moody, to pay for this. Of course, I guess it got cheaper because originally it was $14,425. But I do know we couldn't, that they looked and there wasn't a check for that, to that vendor. So,
Your office looked at it, but I have a concern where it says from 2020, the invoice says 2022, and I got no other invoices from this original part here says 5/18/20. That's the third different date.
Where the order date of 5/18/20, the date wanted 73/20, there's no shipping date on it.
I assume there ain't no way, any idea when you got this book back with?
I just know it was during COVID, so I remember office, the doors to the office were locked, and nobody came in and we put it into them. I didn't assume that.
So, if y'all would like,
I mean, this is before, part-time, set this table, so I mean, it's kind of hard, we need a little more clarification before. I'm not saying that.
But how long is anything to find clarified, but it's saying,
well, as long as this place is still in business, and I don't know that it is or that it isn't, I didn't try to look them up.
I think before anything, contact should be made with this company.
Yeah, they've got an office there in Louisville, 918 South Sixth Street, it says. So, well, there is phone numbers up there. Washington, Missouri. Phone number there. So if you all will do more research.
That's the other thing, is Chapel Hill, North Carolina, there's a Louisville, Kentucky address, and there's something about from the state of Washington. There's 3 different addresses there.
Yeah. If y'all would, I'm sure 2 more weeks won't hurt after 6 years.
Right.
Then I guess.
Google says that they're permanent on closure. Really? Just saying.
All right, we'll check into it some more. Y'all good with that? All right, we'll check into it some more. Yeah,
So like 2 weeks, it don't matter, they're
right. All right, number 5, we have last meeting we discussed about, I don't have any extra information about discontinuing the road, about the process. I don't know if I don't personally have anything to add. Yeah, and I didn't do that yet, so I need to get those.
Yeah.
I remember telling you, I probably asked the same people.
Yeah, same thing.
All right, I got it this time. I will take care of that. For real. All right. Page 119, and we're rolling right along pretty good, folks. Now we'll be here till 1 a.m. after I say that. But, page 119, the AOC, we have a couple of agreements that we need to get passed. If you can read on page 119, we have an agreement with AOC. We'll need approval for me to be able to sign the documents on getting the reimbursement from AOC. One is for the annex building, which is the 39. No, the courthouse is 39,123.50. You can see the documents there. And then the annex is 33,590. It's based on the square footage. We do this annually, so we have to have an agreement to get that done, and I need court approval to sign the documents.
Motion to approve, Judge, to sign the court facilities, local government reimbursement forms in both cases.
Both cases. All right, motion by Mike, second by Zach, to approve and authorize me to sign the AOC documents in both cases mentioned here for the AOC agreement for the upcoming year. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. You opposed? Motion passes. Page 129 is just for information. I'm sure folks have seen there is a proposal of construction of a new cell phone tower out at 1300 Wilsonville Road. And we were just sent the documentation, and we do probably then, we need to put this in the minutes, these 3 pages. So it's just for information purposes. They will be going through the process of going through zoning, which is the normal process.
Andrew, are y'all using that water tower there at Stowe Ridge for anything down in North Blue Trails?
No, but everybody else is doing.
Is there still anything going on?
A lot of local people, wireless routers, that sort of thing.
You talking about the old tire right across the road from it, little water tower?
Yeah, that's what we,
Stone Green Estates.
yeah, that's what we directly across from, I'm nursing, I think there's myself.
There's some, there's
Cell
cell
towers
on there,
too.
yeah, page 11, that's it.
Okay, I just wondered if there was, because
Well, that's where this power wire going, goes, and goes kind of directly across from it.
That's what I'm saying, it's right there.
I'm hoping, I'm thinking to get rid of that.
Well, that's what I was getting at, are they getting rid of this, or?
They had talked about taking that water tower down. It belongs to the city, so they talked about taking that water tower down.
They need to take it down and paint it.
what was it? So I guess it's not in use for water purposes.
They ain't using no water for years.
Alright. So that's, I just have that in here for information. Next on the agenda, EMS personnel changes. Got two folks here, this Mr. Rob,
He's on the, or yeah, Mr. Roberts here.
this Rob.
The other one,
I was gonna get Corey to do it, but then Rob showed up, so Corey got a break.
actually, Corey's got other stuff he talking about a little bit. I believe the only one that we've got on the agenda tonight is gonna be to add William Flights, MTV part-time at a rate of 1912. As a 12-hour employee rate.
No, it's 1912, yes, it's not 1620 like what's in the book.
We got-
1620 is the 24-hour shift. He would be doing 12 hours, so that would be the 1912 rates.
And this also says paramedic, but you're saying EMT?
He is an EMT, he's finishing up paramedic school, he was hoping to advance up to paramedic once he achieves his certificate. That's our hope for him.
Listen, hold
I did not put that together, so I don't know what you got for.
Yeah, well,
I was
this
just
is,
told to be there.
the 1912 is the 12-hour
Right.
shift.
12-hour shift, yes.
So, you have before us to recommend William
Flights.
EMT, 1912 an hour, full-time, or part-time.
See the whole page wrong.
Yeah, he bending all pre-employment requirements.
Yes.
All right, I'll
He
put that in.
discussed with the chief, if he passes his paramedic, he would be interested in coming on board as a paramedic full-time. I'm sure that was the confusion in the paperwork right before we get there.
And this 1912 matches folks just like it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, I'll put that in the form of a motion to recommend William Flights at EMT part-time at 1912 pending all pre-employment requirements.
Second.
All right, motion by myself, second by Zach, for the motion that I just read, for Mr. Flights. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
While we're right here with the EMS stuff, and I didn't get this in the packet, and we don't have to make a decision tonight, but I wanna make the court aware of another ambulance issue that we're facing in that forward. It's looking to have a turbo replacement done. We have, gotten it quoted out, and like I said, I do apologize, it was less than me, but the quotes are coming back between $8,000 and $10,000. Robert's got on the internet and doing some searching, and has found us another ambulance, another used ambulance. And obviously we don't have anybody with the current moment right now. But he was able to talk to them, and they would be willing to pay a $10,000 down payment to hold the ambulance back to the first of the year, so we're in the new budget. This new ambulance is about $32,000. It's 2013 International, it's pretty much the same thing as what we purchased from Texas. It's got like 87, 88,000 on it. Just something to kind of spew out, like I said, nothing we got to take action on, because obviously we all have to see it, but just maybe kind of throw it out there.
Well, I like the idea of even if we push it past the line, then we'll get to 65-35. True.
We do have that amount of money in our budget, in the vehicle line budget, in order to get that through and still stay in the budget, stay home budget.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably make it work. The ladies will be mad at me tomorrow for saying that. Sherry would be mad tonight because she's here. But, eight.
200 and, almost 230,000.
Yeah.
228,000, I think, what the.
Almost 400,000, we had the idle miles and everything else.
Do you know what our old one brought? Y'all know? I know. Yeah.
1,700?
Yeah.
Want the ball up motor.
Yeah. So, I mean, when we done with them, they ain't worth much. We get all the use out of them we
Like I
can.
say, this one, we've been fighting this turbo issue for a while. It keeps blowing the hoses off and everything, and this last time, it just, it dropped. the turbo is just toast. The one company, the Shelby Diesel, they're recommending turbo and intercooler. I tried to get that quote from Bachman. All they would shoot me was a quote on a turbo, and they would have to look at everything before they could give me a direct quote for everything. So
I'm just gonna tell you, so I'm looking at the current budget. We have the parts and repairs, we have like $1,166 left in this fiscal year. And then if you look down at the vehicle remote purchase, we're already in the negative $5,600. So how are we gonna make it work?
Next year? The money that we had allocated in next year's budget in order to purchase things, which is where the money comes from. Robert has it worked out.
We don't have $10,000 to put down.
Robert has it worked out, he's found it in the budget. I don't know what lines those are from, I can't speak on behalf of the chief, he's not here, he's on vacation, he didn't leave me that information. I do know that he's got it where it is available within our budget to make that happen.
I think we're discussing Robert comes back to that either.
Cause I don't know where he's pulling it from either.
Yeah, I think Robert needs to get with Sherry and.
Robert's gonna win one.
The only possible line item I see that's specific to EMS would be the utility, building facility maintenance line item.
How much is in it, Sherry?
$11,666.
There's Robert.
They're just thinking because he won't let me pick anything else unless I pull it out of my pocket. That's why we're laying floor now.
But that would probably, that's the only line item I see where he'd be able to pull that.
I think we got one that's $5,600 paid.
Well, it's not negative
it's
now,
not- yeah.
because we had to replenish it elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's for that purchase, it's for the purchase.
Easy to pay Paul.
Yes, yeah. We
unfortunately,
discussed
that's what
that.
we've been doing for a while.
We discussed that in the office.
Like I said, the selling point of it is either we're gonna spend $10,000 and we're gonna fix something that's got $230,000, or we're gonna spend $10,000 and make a down payment, and then figure it out in the budget year to have something roll miles or. So that's just nothing we gotta make a decision on tonight, it's something to keep me on the head.
Yeah, we probably need
Probably
to,
discuss it on the first of June.
next meeting, we need to crack the whip on.
But if it's something that.
The new one's out and about, all right.
Oh, yeah, international.
Yes.
It's good looking truck.
No, but the new one.
No, we didn't hear you.
You said the end of May, have you heard an update on that?
I don't have an exact date, but it's the end of May. Yes.
After he gets back, we'll get an exact date. He's waiting to hear back from Imperial on that, and so then call him after he got off vacation.
He was pretty certain we'd take ownership of it in the end of May, so, I mean, I think that myself.
And I think we've planned
About to
on,
have a new one, we'll wait.
yeah, we planned on paying for that this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New ambulance.
Yeah. I don't remember that discussion.
It's, see, now we're down to 4 running, because the new one isn't here. And the one's gone, and we bought the international for it, so now we're down to 4 running. And when we get the new one, we'll have 5 again, but we'll still have, the next junkiest one has how many miles?
198,000.
Med 4 is the next junkiest one.
The one that's left towards the junkiest one.
Next one, the next one after that.
Med4 is out of commission right now, we can't even count it.
Med 4, it can't be remounted either, correct?
What's it?
That one can, that 4 cannot.
Med 4 is the main body, correct?
Correct.
Med 4 is the main body, and get the one back on the truck.
Well,
It needs to.
I think it's the
hit the road.
second or third time it's been realized already, that's why it's they let it go so many times.
Alright. Alright, we'll, go ahead, Sherry.
Just one thing before we forget. Last meeting, we talked about we were gonna approve her software update.
Yes, and then we rescinded it.
Just so we could double check and make
Yes.
sure what we were paying for.
Yep.
We double checked and it's all good, so she wants to see. If we can
What's the total?
The total was 34,966.
So both options were covered under the one price.
Well, the one, so the way they had it listed, so she pays for the licensing already, it's a monthly fee, but they had it listed on the same invoice, so it looked like there was 2 costs.
Yeah.
And there is, but not as a whole. So she's just
looking for the equipment upgrade, which is the 34,966.
What's that, does that come on House Bill fund or something?
Yeah,
35?
537.
Motion to approve the software payment for the clerk's office for now $34,966 from House Bill 537.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mike, second by Dan, to approve the, I don't have anything in front of me, but to approve that, to upgrade the clerk's software.
Yes.
All right, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. And we will discuss the ambulance some more. Very soon, when Robert will be back first next week. Yeah, come and help me up and we'll.
And I know one of the discussion plans was we would also be getting rid of the emergency ambulance vehicle. We will sit down front of the other ambulance, so we can get two gone for one.
The other shed.
But we were kind of keeping it for spare parts anyway, because we've already had to take some parts off of it to put on that Ford to keep it on the road.
All right,
And were you, I'm sorry,
now go ahead.
were you planning to go back to Ellen Dawson for appointment? Is there one her start May 21st?
Yes, yeah, if you have the additional information now.
What I have is, I have her name, I have that they said she was gonna be $18 an hour full-time, starting May 21st.
18 an hour, full-time, starting May 21st.
Yeah, so Thursday.
I'm sorry. All right, yes, yeah, before we pass it on, so that was what I was talking about earlier, that we did have a recommendation to hire Emma Dawson for the code enforcement next door, which would be code enforcement for planning and zoning and occupational tax office, starting at 18 an hour on May 21st. And she has passed all the hiring requirements. So I'll put that into a motion, and we will notify her about her start date.
Second.
All right, motion by myself, second by Zach, to hire Emma Dawson for the code enforcement, starting at 18 an hour on May 21st. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. Thank you all for helping, everybody helping tonight. Everybody, actually. Makes the meeting go, makes it fun, actually. A lot of fun. All right, EMS personnel, we've done. All right, page 133. We're getting close to the end. We have some recycling grant agreements. If y'all remember, we put in for a jack and a couple trailers, and they didn't like the jack and the bumps, but they did agree with the trailers. On page 140, which I need a motion for me to execute this agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky through the Recycling Grant Program Agreement.
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, everybody know what we're voting on? Motion by Zach, second by Dan, to authorize me to sign the recycling grant documentation for the mesh trailers for this upcoming year. And again, the three trailers are $33,000, and then we do have like kind, I believe we have some match.
Now, this is a full deal, we matched.
8250 batch.
Yeah. Yeah, on page 141, it mentions the match. So, but this will get us 4 new mesh trailers. That way, when Christmas falls in the middle of the week again, we won't have 50 million tons of cardboard falling around over at the recycling center. We'll have it all in the trailer.
Yeah, well, it's, the amount is 8250.
Yeah, required 25%.
Yeah.
So,
I see where. Someone asked the question.
He said 8250, it's like, that's more than 100%. I don't.
yeah. All right, we'll be voting on giving me the ability to sign this document. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Next, page 145 and 148. is the similar documentation for us to do, to receive $4,000 for we can do a tire amnesty this fall. We've been doing that every year, and I think our community really appreciates it. So moved. All right, there's a second?
Second.
All right, motion by Mike, seconded by Zach, to approve us acquiring about the $4,000 for a waste tire grant program for the agreement to sign. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We'll need to get some dates together for that once we get approved. And I think it's pretty routine on getting approved. All right, now, we're gonna run through like lightning, unless everybody has a lot of questions. We have our bids, and we opened them one day last week. We had 3 bidders on blacktop, but only 2. Well, let me see. You have 3 bids. 2 actually showed up in person when we opened bids. And my recommendation is, and this is with the road foreman and I discussing, on page 150, the best deal to have blacktop laid was from Mago. You see the laid price there, $85.87 for the base and $89.94 for the surface. All right, the best price on the cold patch, which is the Easy Street, and also picking up hot asphalt at the plant, was from Flynn's, which is on the page 152. Yeah, part of it's on 152. That's the Easy Street in the bags, and then on page 151. The surface asphalt picked up is $67.28, and the base picked up is $59.85. We don't do a lot of that. We could do more of that probably, but they did have the best price. So Mago for laid, Flynn for cold patch and hot patch picked up. Then Core and Main was the only bid that came through for pipe. That's on page 156, 157, 8, and 59. That was the only bid we got, so.
155 is how you material draw.
Yeah. And the quality we determined was the best bid overall, which is on page 160 and 161. The freight was, one was I think $8.17 and one was $8.25, but then a lot of the materials was $1 or $2 more expensive at Hayden's. So we agreed that quality on the stone, Premier on diesel fuel.
My stone deal, especially when we go and get some, I brought this up before, why we can't have 2 suppliers. We're hauling stone to Briar Ridge. It's crazy to drive the quality when we're picking it up in our truck compared to driving a Hayden material.
I think if you're gonna have it delivered, you need to go with all.
For sure,
You need to have
I'm saying, depending on where you are in the county.
Well, I'm saying you need to approve both.
Well, I don't know that you can.
We've had this discussion. I don't know
I
why.
thought we did.
Well, I don't know that you can approve all bids. You have to approve a bid. Looking at you, Gordon, Cheryl.
So you can't approve, say we're using quality stone for delivered product and they pick up, we can't approve the 2 vendors? Or even when you talk about delivery, you're getting charged the freight per mile, and if we're up here, Hayden's material might be $2 and their freight might be $1 more per mile.
Yeah, well, their delivery is $8.17, quality's $8.25, delivered to the fairgrounds.
Per ton.
Yeah.
You're basing that on the fairground, and we haul it.
Yeah, delivered
I
to
still
the
think
fairgrounds.
we should still have another vendor for us picking it up.
And I mean, we could probably,
That makes no sense.
what's that?
Has that been bid out?
Uh,
Point is somebody specific, us picking up versus.
Yes.
Yeah, they have delivery and they have pickup, individual stone picked up price.
And I mean, the point Will is making, even if it's $1 cheaper at quality, and this is closer, which is Hayden's How far is it to the fairgrounds?
A long way.
Well,
It's closer than Quality is to the fairgrounds. Guarantee it. I bet it's closer than 5 miles.
Hayden?
Go to the Lordstown Circle, take a right, Airport Drive.
I know where it's at.
So we just got across the dam, take a wrong.
Well, one thing we come across the dam.
I bet it's good 5 miles.
I figured they were pretty close, but I still thought Hayden might have been a little further.
I bet you the fairgrounds are really almost about the same.
That's what I'm saying, I don't think that's.
I'm just saying if we're out somewhere or doing a job, say, on the dam road.
Well, I think if you,
Is that something?
especially if you're up around Ashland Creek, it's gonna be closer to go Hayden, sure.
So in the invitation of bid, you've got stone price per ton at the quarry, you've got freight price per ton to the road department, so it was separated bid, so if for that specific, you want to pick it up.
Well, I mean, the biggest question would be, can we have
Well, I guess what he's saying
Quality
is,
and Hayden as us picking it up?
pick up at the cheapest of the two.
no, pick up.
Because if we're on that side of town, we need to pick up Quality. If we're in Ashes Creek, we need to pick up Hayden Material.
Because the freight is, we're saving money on freight.
We want to use
So what
two
are-
vendors.
Well, they both
So then what are the two prices for the pickup? I mean, one's 817, one's 825?
Well, that's the freight. But if we're picking up, no, that's them hauling. For us to pick up would be,
1325 at Quality for like 3 minus.
350 for number 3, plus number 2.
look at page, Acor, it's page 155 and page 161. So like the DGA at Hayden is 1475. The DGA at Quality is 1350. That's on page 155. That's
The
Hayden,
question, the only question is,
Hayden
is
Bardstown.
can we approve 2 vendors and use them?
Pick it up on the cheapest place.
I mean, if you're, I get this transport, if you're going to pick it up, it'd be.
If we're in Ashes
Still-
Creek and it costs $1 more per ton, that's $20 on a 20-ton load. If we have to drive 10 miles to get to the quarry, pay $20 more, or we drive 35 miles to get the $1 less, $20 less, you spent more money.
Well, if
What I'm
you're
getting
driving, paying somebody to sit there, truck, you're paying fuel.
You don't hurt for
If you're picking it up, I mean, that's separate apart from what was being bid. I mean, I think you go with picking up, if you go with EGA,
The unit
Or
price is
ticket
cheaper for
price.
Quality.
then I think you have to go with the cheaper bid price, even if it is more of a drive for a specific job. If that makes sense.
That's bizarre.
I mean, you're bidding for these.
But why can't we have 2 approved vendors, just like we have 2 approved vendors on everything else?
You can, but I think what Corey's saying is you'd have to rebid it out as saying the pickup price.
We already have that.
Delivery
It's bid out like that. It already is.
Well, here's your better example for Mr. Tom. Hayden on 57 is $17.50. Quality is $18.
That's what I'm saying. I
So-
almost brought that up earlier.
We could probably break it down that we're gonna buy, dense grade at Quality. We're gonna buy 57s at Hayden. We could probably have to break it down like that.
Well, every other vendor, we don't do that. We have multiple vendors. I don't know what, I can't think of an example, but like, if we have 2 tire vendors, we can
If
buy.
we're going to AutoZone and we're buying a part, but we can't get it at AutoZone, but we can go to Napa and get the same part.
Well, if you can't
What's
get
the
it, if you can't get it, that's not the same.
That's
analysis. These two vendors, Hayden and Quality, if they both have DGA, you gotta go with the cheaper price. That's the point of the bid for.
But I go to AutoZone and get it cheaper, but they don't got it.
If they don't have it, then you
Well,
go
there's
with
a chance they
the
might.
one that does have it.
There's a
Can't
chance
they bid
this
it
will
by,
happen too.
can't they bid it by,
Item,
well, I mean,
You don't have
because
to
you don't
take the
know where the
lowest
job's
bid
gonna
in
be,
any
you
of
can't be
this
like,
stuff. So why is that?
bid this based on,
We don't have to accept the lowest bid.
it gets complicated.
Yeah, I'd have to review what's.
Well, you can approve it, but I'd like the board to look up and see if we can have 2 different vendors, because it's,
If they don't have it, that would be one thing, but if you've got a situation where you need UGA and you've got a price of $14.75 and you've got a price of $13.50, I mean, if you're picking this up, the cost of pickup and the cost of using your own equipment and manpower and employees for that's apart from what's being bid. These are bids for these materials.
But I think what the question here is, all right, you take the money away. We got a rock store, we got the rock store. We got an auto parts store, the auto parts store, we got a hardware store, and a hardware store. We buy from all these same people.
We buy from Ace, we buy from Lowe's.
Right. What's the difference?
We buy from our Styles.
$5,000 to thousands of dollars worth from those individual ones.
We probably do, not 40,000, but it's just like tires. You know, we'll get tires, we'll take 3 or 4 bids and go with the cheapest one.
That was a bad analogy.
That's what we do. We don't bid the tires.
You've got a cheaper price.
You go with the cheaper price, but it's the same.
All right, Corey, well, can you just look before the next meeting and see if it would be a possibility that we could buy from 2 different vendors?
If it's more cost effective.
All right, I mean, we're not saying we're going.
So here, we're gonna try to move on. Scott opened his mouth and said we were doing good. But, so, quality, that's a great example. We're gonna accept the bid from Quality, but some of their product is higher than they.
You can break down by product, yeah. But the question of having the 2 different vendors for the same specific product is,
It's not allowed.
I don't think I can't see that you can't have 2 different vendors.
Then what are? All right, then what's the purpose of the bid process?
To make it fair for people to bid. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's. I don't know how you compare it. They're, we buy them from multiple other places all the time. That's all I'm getting at. And I don't know what the total is, but repairs to Lowe's trips, I guarantee you over a year, it's probably 15,000-20,000. But maybe not just Lowe's, but just say, maintenance,
hardware,
supplies, hardware stores. But if you don't care, just look, and if we can't. I hate to waste money if we can save it.
Works. It's just more or less that they are qualified vendors.
Well, both should be able to be qualified vendors. My opinion.
All right, and then, last but not least, on page 166, we did have a bidder on tree service. They did cut those trees on Dustman Creek for a flat amount of money. And actually, this right here would be even cheaper. This is one bid that we got from Bidco. They do a 4-hour minimum and they charge $275 an hour. It's 2 men in a bucket truck. So if we had them as a vendor, then they had done that same job, we've been out $1,100 instead of $2,500. So it's probably worth us having a vendor to go cut trees. Because what we can do when we got a bad one, if it ain't a 911, we can get 4 or 5 bad ones and pay for a half a day or a day. And it'd be good. So I recommend Bidco. So we can do.
Let me ask you this: if we have that vendor at the tree service center, are you obligated not to have another vendor for trees?
I don't know either. I'm sorry, that's just my best answer.
Well, I don't want to be tied to one company.
Well,
we're not going to spend $40,000 a year with them unless we have a bad
that's
storm this year. But
I don't know that we. See, I don't know, and that's another thing. They may have been hoping that they would get all of our business, so they gave us a good bid. And then if we don't take it, then they may say, well, heck with y'all.
That's the thing with taking bids, is you're gonna get a better price.
Yeah, they're giving you a better price for you to accept them to do business, yeah. So, anyway, what y'all's wishes on all these that are read out, Paul?
We don't have a choice on pipe, it's on one to go.
Well, and then the fuel's the only one we got, and then
All in one motion.
we can. And what I have Nago for the lake blacktop, Flynn for the, cold patch and pickup of the hot patch, or hot mix, Corn Main on the, pipe, Premier on the diesel fuel. And, I mean, I would like to just go ahead and do the Vidito on the tree, cause I think we all like the price. And then we can do the rock at the next meeting if y'all like.
Fair enough, I think.
So I'll put that in the motion to approve the bid with those that I mentioned, second by Zach. Any other discussion? Y'all think that was fun, we talked about tractors. All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Like 80 pages of tracking.
There it is. Well, we don't pay, we won't pay what we don't have to pay. I talked about that over there on the fuel, there's taxes on the fuel.
Yeah.
But some of those taxes we don't have to pay, some we do have to pay. But yeah, we won't pay the ones we don't have to pay, so.
What the CEO thing?
Okay, we have, I actually thought we had already covered this, Corey. I'm dragging you into a bunch of stuff tonight. I appreciate your willingness to play ball. So, y'all remember we talked about doing this, get CDLs for our drivers. And we have two that have went. And I think they would like to pursue and continue to pursue. Where did they go? They went somewhere one night. They told me, and I don't remember. Well, it must have been more like some kind of orientation telling you what you're gonna do, and then they gotta go like on the field and take a permit test. Right? That's one step. And then and that costs so much, and then there's another 2 or 3 things they do, but at the end of it, as long as they pass, they will have their Class A CDL. But I've decided, unless y'all tell me different, we're probably not gonna get 4 done like right now, because 4 people out of our road department is a pretty big hole to fill this time of year. So, but 2 of them, Dakota and Justin, were 2 that already went. I'm not sure. Basically, we gotta pay it, and then they're supposed to reimburse us. You can see they're supposed to reimburse us, for 4, it'd be 20,000, so for 2, it's 10,000.
Who's reimbursed?
Yeah. The Kentuckiana Works, that's who this is through, and then they're also doing training for some paramedics. And I think, Rob, y'all got that lined up
I'm just gonna
a little
say,
later.
essentially, this be free.
Supposed to be, yes. I really don't pay. You tell me?
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
You know more about it than me, huh?
Well, I mean, if they don't pass, do they get to take it again at no charge? I would doubt it. So, basically, if you all want to continue,
So these dates are both employees gonna be gone the 25th through the 18th,
well,
and I don't understand that part.
potentially, I agree with you. And that was a concern I had for doing 4 instead of just doing 2.
That's really wrong.
And,
What kind of days on here?
so,
So when they come up, they're supposed to be.
Ready to rock and roll.
Class
Yes.
A, no restrictions.
so, y'all good,
I don't know about that.
continuing on with this?
Do we have a wording on an agreement with Kentuckiana Works for
Yes,
the reimbursement?
yes. We've already did that agreement.
I was just saying.
The only thing I'll say, I think we need to have, we talked about it, and I'm sure we've never done it, some sort of contract before we make a step.
I think you're gonna give specialized training, when you get out, that's between the next thing, whether it's a year or.
On the personnel policy.
Perhaps. There actually is, y'all have, if you're ready with that, there is something in that code.
All right.
It's not speaking about it.
All right, well, send them, we'll be working on it.
Okay, now, I think about everything else in our book, just about, is tractors. I don't think so. I mean, I think we have already discussed that.
Okay,
We discussed
CDL?
the CDL stuff.
we discussed it.
We discussed we needed it.
Yeah, we never made a true motion.
All right, okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve, to send 2 employees to the CDL training.
Contingent upon, written agreement with Kentucky Animal Works and, an agreement for reimbursement for leaving prior to 2 years from the date of training.
Of course, I don't know,
Reimburse the cost of the boat.
those 2 people have even agreed to that.
Our personnel policy, everybody signed it. Anyway, whatever he says.
12 months. We're gonna be reimbursed for this.
Yeah, we'll be reimbursed for this as long as we're
Right, I'm
passed.
saying-
We'll be whole.
If an employee leaves, if, let's say,
We're gonna talk about this, it's usually prorated, and then we went back and forth because someone else was gonna pay for it.
Right.
When we have this conversation, calls.
Yes.
right,
So, I mean, basically, if they pass, we'll pay the 10,000, then we'll get the 10,000 back, we'll be made whole. Won't be out
But here's the
anything.
problem with that scenario. Say I'm Joe employee and I only worth, such amount of money in the market. You put the time and the money into getting them trained, you become worth exceptionally more in the market. And then they get offered a job a month later. Now you're out the employee you just trained up and now you gotta do it all over again. And you're gotta fill a whole other vacancy. So the whole reason why that most companies make you sign those agreements is so that you have an incentive to stay once you are trained up to that level.
Yeah, that makes total sense. The only problem is we haven't discussed that with these 2 employees.
Well, if we want to go,
The thing that we're discussing, I don't feel like any of this should be involved anyway, so
Yeah, I mean, you all are totally accurate.
Yeah.
We need, before we got deep into this annually, we need some better policy. But are y'all good for two doing for
Yeah.
up to 10,000?
That's fine.
All right,
you're gonna take vacancy off that 1 point.
He is.
yeah, I think we need to on this one, on these 2. And then you guys, when does y'all start?
August.
We're gonna be doing the exact same thing on you guys. And y'all got 4 or 6? 2, okay.
No, three, we got 3 of them. The only problem we have with that is that you can talk to your judge down the road. They had people under contract. People broke that contract, they went to court, judge said, no, it's free money, you can't do anything like that. That much that.
So
So
it's
if
case
you want
law.
to talk to him and get that a little bit worked out.
My only question, and I know I'm not on the court, so I can't make any decisions, but if it's already being reimbursed by Kentucky Animal Works, how can you force an employee to pay that back?
You don't have to send them, you choose a different employee. If the employee wants that training, they will sign the contract, just like the sheriff's department. When the sheriff's department sends people to Richmond, they sign contracts that they will be employed for a period of time or subject to reimbursement. It doesn't matter that it's paid for by somebody else.
But
You
the
choose
sheriff's
somebody
department's
else.
not getting
I send
reimbursed by
Zach instead of sending Will. Will doesn't, Zach doesn't want to.
You're getting paid while you're at that training too.
And we're out an employee for a significant period of time.
Say, nursing schools have been doing this forever.
Everybody does it, it's common practice.
Yeah, it is absolutely legal and it's recommended. Because otherwise, just like Sherry said, somebody gets the training, you've lost them for 160 hours, you've paid them the salary while they're gone to get that training, and then you still have nobody with that CDL because they leave the next month. That's why you have the contingency.
Absolutely.
If the employee wants the training, they will sign on the contingency.
I'll sign, I would think, sign.
All right, y'all wanna make that into a motion? And we'll move
So
on.
moved.
That says what?
Gonna send 2 employees,
Did we have a motion on the floor, Lee? No. Okay, we did.
gonna send 2 employees, for cost of $10,000 that will get reimbursed on, and then we'll have a contingency language that Cory comes up with.
For them to stay with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll second that. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Okay, road tractor estimates, not a road tractor, it's for the road tractor estimates.
Mowing tractor estimates.
Mowing, all right, right now, all of our mowing tractors are junk, just about. And John Deere has several pages of stuff. I don't know how much y'all studied all of them, but you go to page 269 in your book. Kubota has, and these are what we have, and I think these are a pretty good deal that we can stand. 269 at the bottom. So this is, the M5111s, which is like we have. The loader's pretty expensive, the tractor there. For, $600 a year, you get a full 4-year warranty. And we pay, on this particular one, it's $1,200 something a month.
So these are a lease agreement, correct? 'Cause I haven't.
Yes. They're a lease, and they just,
With an option to own it to the end?
yeah, you, at the end, like on this particular tractor with the loader, I can't find that,
It's $14,923 a year.
Annual payment.
yeah, so you can, well, they have a monthly also. One of them here, on page 271, here's a tractor without a loader. It's $1,022 a month for 48 months with a 4-year warranty, $600 annual.
Now, is that, so is it, the one this gets leased out, is it only leased to one? We can't do a 6-month term, we can't do a 12-month term, it has to be a 48-month term, 4-month term.
Yeah, it's 40, this, I mean, I don't have those details in this book, but this is a 4-year deal, because I was trying to get it where the monthly payment wasn't really bad. And then after, if you choose to buy it out, you can buy it out for $32,701.
Well, right off the gate, I'll just say this. The word utility in every one of these tractors not have no appetite to buy a utility or list a utility tractor.
Well, I think
That's what we
M5111s,
have now.
what are these 4-wheel drive with M5111s? Whatever one is. I don't know why it says that. Look at the very top. 271. They're M5111 boats.
You said, yeah.
Yeah, page 271.
I'm in 170, y'all look at the mowers, I'll look at the all years.
Yeah. No, not the John Deere's. The John Deere's are a good bit more expensive.
So, I mean, what's
What about the 600 hours a year?
That, I typically, in a big year, 250 hours on the tractor, on the farm. That's the one I use all the time. So, I mean, I can't imagine that 600 would be, we would do more than that.
Well, obviously, from mowing, 40 hours a week gets you 15 weeks. Right. Throwing that out there. Plus, what other stuff you do with it outside of the mowing season. I think want to run into penalty issues.
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all think it's cool, whatever.
Well, essentially, if you figure it out, you're just about buying the tractor. Same as purchase price, it's either you can keep it for 4 years, you terminate it, I mean, it's pretty much the same as purchase price if you bought it.
I mean,
About $4,000 or $5,000 more.
you know, the best part is we'll have no maintenance on this tractor, other than just,
Well, in the purchase deal, I'd have no appetite whatsoever to ever purchase any of it.
Does that do anything for
They're
their
gonna be wore out just like what we got. I wish they had like a 2-year deal. So what's the deal with this lease agreement maintenance wise? Deferred maintenance,
That's part of the total.
I say it's a deferred maintenance, extended warranty, 2,900.
Yeah, see, I guess they're financing the warranty in with the price. So this one on page 270 is $1,258 for one with the loader. And then this one here is the one without the loader. But, you know, basically we're looking at 2,200 and something a month. And we, you know, last year, or not even last year, this year, we spent 10, 12,000 working on a couple. And then we got 4,700 that worked on maybe one of the same.
Does it do anything to the warranty on, now a big boom mower on there, you know?
Well, I don't think we mount a boom mower on these two. The good news about these two is they're in stock. If we move tonight to execute these two tractors, we can probably have them this week. They are available. They're in stock, as it was last week.
So you're looking at two on page 270 times 2?
Well,
71, no loader.
Yeah, only a loader on one.
Only the loader. I was like, with the skid steer and everything, only a loader.
Well,
Are we trading in our tractors or selling our tractors?
okay, that's a whole nother option, and I don't know that they're in this book, but they sent them to me.
Well, here's
They-
my thing, is if we're keeping our tractors, we're gonna rent these, we just keep lower tractors that we got.
We could do that. I mean, I'm not opposed to that at all. They bid us 12,000 something for one and 14,000 for the other.
I don't, and I get the idea behind kind of thinking behind it, but same sense of leasing a tractor, if we're gonna use the loader, that's a loader. No, we won't get nothing on that.
And I got no problem keeping
Because
the
it's
one we got.
small savings, but $7,500 a month.
And I mean, the loader's pretty expensive compared to $9,500 is a high price loader, I thought. No.
No.
So, but I mean, for basically $2,044, we could have two new mowing tractors mowing with, no fear of the expensive warranty.
I like the
for
idea
years.
of trying to mitigate some of our past maintenance stuff.
So it's just a matter of what y'all would like to do.
Down the last 2 years, you probably save money on.
What do you say we don't need?
I said, if you really broke it down over the last 2 years, you'll save money in a whole.
Leasing it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, what we've spent, what I can just recall spending.
I'd like to see, what their damage clause is, at least these tractors, the maintenance, I see you say that's a maintenance, but they're not, you're still gonna change it forward.
Yeah, we would do
You're gonna
that.
do general maintenance on the tractor. What's the damage clause in there, because I'm sure one of these tractors will get tore up over the next 4 years.
I'm sure they will.
You gotta figure insurance, this too, you gotta figure in and talk to what the insurance of these two tractors are gonna be, it's gonna be substantially more. So the insurance of these tractors versus us one of those.
What, does it look like when tires are wore out?
I think they consider that a consumable.
Depending on every different ways, it's different. But I would assume you're right, I don't know that.
So what's the, wishes of the court? You close to wrapping up.
I'm down with 270, page 271.
Getting two of those, executing the lease for two of those. Well, if you all, we need
I
to
think
find
that
out.
would be good, but I would just like to know all of the questions, but.
Well, contingent upon, the details being other details being satisfactory.
Yeah, you can make a decision on that.
All right, and I will, relay,
Make the motion.
all right, I make a motion that we, enter into agreement with Jacoby Sales to lease two M5111 tractors for the road department.
for $1,022.79
each.
per month.
Yep, I'll make it in the most second. All right, motion by myself, seconded by Zach, to enter into agreement with Jacoby Sales on leasing the Kubota M5111 on a 4-year lease at a cost of $1,022.79. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, we have a couple trucks on page 279. I think it's the biggest book we've had. 279, we've got a Dodge truck that's at the parks, 2013. And then, they have one at the sheriff's office that's better. And, they have wishes to surplus the 2013 and the VIN numbers there in your book. And then use the transfer of the other one from the sheriff to the parks department.
What's wrong with the 2013?
Well, they're both driving. Brian is driving
Is
the
there
13.
anything at the recycling center or anything?
Well, I mean, Karen has a Dodge at the recycling center.
Right.
Well, I wanna get rid of what's the worst.
Right.
Brian and Daniel said the 13 is not as good as the 16. The 16, Toby has been driving it.
I'm
Yes.
talking about, is the one you're talking about surplus from here, is it better than another piece of junk we're operating somewhere else?
I don't think so.
Surplus that.
Yeah, surplus the junkiest one.
Right.
I probably need to make my words different, but surplus the least desirable one. They're all road worthy and they're currently in use.
I have no problem transferring the truck over with the park of 2013 if we can verify that. I know that that's more efficient because I know one of them there loves it, but it's just on.
I heard it's supposed to fall on that.
Well,
And it's just a ticking time now, we'll get ready to get rid of the truck and then.
Well, consider what you get out of the surplus, because it ain't hurting us to keep it around.
Right.
well, so basically tonight I would need to make a motion to transfer the 2016 Dodge Ram from sheriff's use to the parks department.
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion by Mike, second by Zach to transfer the 2016 Dodge Ram that's in the sheriff's department to the parks department. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. And what we'll do then, we will evaluate all the other vehicles and come up with a better option for surplus, and we'll get back with y'all. All right, next we have, the invoices, bills, and transfers, and then we do have a short executive session, right, Corey? Any questions on the invoices, bills, and transfers?
Motion to pay the bill, make the transfer, make it seem anything, just do that.
All right, is there a second? Second. Motion by Zach, second by Will, to approve the invoices, bills, and transfers. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. We need to go into for pending litigation. All right, I'll make a motion to go into executive session as per KRS 61-810, letter C and B. C, discussions of proposed pending litigation on behalf of public agency, and KRS 61-810B, deliberations on future acquisition of sale of real property by a public agency. I put that in the form of motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion by myself, seconded by Zach. This is debatable and amendable. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. We'll take a short recess. Sherry, you should be ready to go. Thank you.
So we gotta fix this.
I thought, man, we